Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. I have some slides tonight just so I can keep on track. And we're gonna keep this right around 25-30 minutes long. So it is, what is it, August 9th? And this is our new coach call for the month of August. And I know we've had a lot of new faces and a lot of people will be catching this recording because I know this is a hard time. Sometimes people are putting kids to bed right now, or we have a lot of team members on the West Coast, which is kind of right smack dab in the dinner time. So I just have a few announcements and then we are going to dive on in. Two things really for the month. If we have a new flavor of Shakeology coming out next Tuesday, it is vanilla chai Shakeology. No, I haven't tried it yet, but I definitely will be trying it. And I always just say, like, whether you're like, wow, that sounds so good, or it's like, I do not like chai stuff at all, to always just talk about it and share it, because you never know who in your audience like that hits home with. Like, I know for me, we have a seasonal flavor that always launches in December, which is peppermint mocha. And I do not like anything chocolate and peppermint. I think it's the worst combo, but I have people who love peppermint mocha. So I always make sure to talk about it because you just never know who it's for. So that's launching next Tuesday. And then we have through the end of the year, all of our challenge packs are $20 off. So we have a promo code that we can give to people with our names attached to it. So they're just making this sale super, super simple, and it's going through the end of the year, which is an awesome deal. We're going to go ahead, and I think that's all I have, and jump into the topic tonight, which is for new coaches, or maybe you have been a coach and around for a while and you're just ready to reignite things, you're ready to get started, or you're ready just to hear what the first kind of steps are. Please know this is a learn as you go business. So even though I am giving you some solid tactical tips, you're still going to be running into things that every single day or every single week that you're going to need to ask questions about, and know that like 5 years into this, I still don't know things, but I know how to go figure them out by asking my coach, or going to the Beachbody FAQ page, frequently asked questions. It's like the best page ever. And that, like, I literally have found everything through there. So just know it might be overwhelming at first, but the more you do it, the more you're going to learn and the more you're going to get started and be able to help people. So I have 4 things for you. And the first step is being a product of the product. So like, you literally you can share this, but you can share it so much more authentically and with way more confidence when you firsthand have seen that this works, that you firsthand have seen that sticking from a program from beginning to end boosts your confidence, gives you energy, helps you lose X, Y, and Z weight, or helps you gain X, Y, and Z, whatever you're looking to do. You need to show people that this works through your journey, which I honestly think is the coolest part of being a coach. Like, it is my job to make my health journey a priority, which as a mom, I know a lot of us are moms, is so easy to always put on the back burner. So picking out a workout program, sticking to your supplements, whether you're using Shakeology, whether you're using Energize or Recover, whatever you're using, use them consistently, because you are not going to be able to recommend them to people and tell people they work if you don't see firsthand that, wow, that really works, or have given it a fair shot. And then, of course, I butchered nutrition. I'll blame that on pregnancy brain. But going in, we have 2 nutrition programs, Portion Fix and then To Be Mindset. If you haven't dove into those yet, that's okay. I encourage you, as you continue in your journey, to try them out. So you can tell your potential customers or your current customers, like, hey, this is what I've done. This is the results I've seen. And like, you are your business card. One thing I love about our team is like, we're not posting all these random pictures of people we don't know. Like, the majority of the pictures and transformations that I share are my personal story. And maybe as a brand new coach, you don't have that yet, but you're going to. So make sure, one, that you document, you take those before pictures, which I know can be super uncomfortable. Trust me, looking at, this is right here, this is my girl Brooke, and down here is Caitlin. We're all like sitting around, I think, a month postpartum or 2 months postpartum. Actually, Brooke, from her picture, she had just started her like health journey for the first time ever. So she wasn't even postpartum. You don't have to be postpartum to do this. But like, trust me, none of us want to take those before pictures. But two things happen when you do that. One, like you're committing to yourself, like I'm actually doing this. I'm going to get these results. It's kind of that breath of fresh air of like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, here we go. What am I going to see? Like even this fourth time around when I took this picture, I had just had my fourth baby and I was like, okay, is this going to work again? Like I had seen it work through my other 3 postpartum journeys, but like, I was like, I have a lot of work to do. And this second picture on the right for me was like 4 months later. And it's like blew my mind. If I wouldn't have taken that picture, you know, that side-by-side comparison just for yourself is so powerful. So take those before pictures. If you're not ready to share it, that is totally okay, but you will kick yourself in the foot if you don't take them now. You don't have to have it off with your sports bra and shorts on or whatever, but even if you have it with like maybe a pair of shorts or a pair of jeans that you really want to fit into one day, or like, you know, you can fit into if, you know, you lose the last little bit, 10 pounds or whatever your goal is. So you can do it totally with clothing. And then number 3 is personal development. This is one that probably for the first year and a half of my coaching journey, I totally rolled my eyes at. I didn't think I needed any self-help books. I thought that was ridiculous. I thought it was, you know, for people who just, I don't know, like believed in higher powers in the universe. I had my Bible, I had devotions that I did, but I never thought that I needed anything more. And what I found, especially when it comes to coaching and sharing and doing this through, a lot of us do it mainly through social media, is that the biggest thing that stops us every single day is what we are telling ourselves in our head. Right? Like, of course, jobs are busy and kids keep us busy and friends and social life and all that. But the biggest thing that keeps us going or stops us is the things that we are telling ourselves every single day. And picking up some personal development books, like I always recommend Fear is My Homeboy or Do It Scared. I can post all these recommendations. But just a little bit each day is so powerful and gets you kind of out of a funk. It gets you, you know, excited to do what you signed up to do in the first place, which is help people. And then number 4, if you're on this call, you're already doing it. It's just leaning into the team. This is a 2-way streak. This is, I think, the best team in all Beachbody. But you have to be someone, you can't just show up as a coach and just sit there and not talk to anybody, not ask questions, not get to know anyone. Show up on we have a virtual gym link in the mornings. If your morning is someone who needs to work out in the morning, get on the team calls and use the chat section to get to know people so that you get plugged in. It's a 2-way streak to do that. So number 1 is being a product of the product. Right, 2, social media. So this is, I think, the part, at least I know I was super frozen and caught up in. A lot of my coaches I know get deer in headlights when we start talking about social media, and I get it. It is scary. 1, to put yourself out there. 2, you're scared to be that friend. 3, it's like my mom's gonna see it, my sister's gonna see it, all my mom's friends are gonna see it. But that's where, when you are being a product of the product and you've seen firsthand what this can do for someone, it's like, it's okay. Like, a post isn't going to make all these people unfriend you. A post that is sharing of something that you love and helping someone else with their journey is powerful. I know my coach, she just asked me this simple question when I said, I just don't want to be salesy and that friend on social media. And she just asked me, was I that way to you? Was I pushy? Did you like cringe at my post? Did you like not want to follow me? And I was like, no, I loved seeing the things you shared every day. I loved the positivity and light that you brought to health and fitness. And you have to remember, like, that's what you will be, not to maybe to every single person, but to the person who was meant to do this with you. You will be that light and that positive outlet that they need to see. So just remember that. So the first thing that I have my coaches do is do a commitment post. And this is a post just saying, you know, you don't need to say, I'm a Beachbody coach, I'm doing Shakeology and 21-day fix or whatever you're doing. But it's just kind of your post that's saying why you're committing to your health and fitness journey. You know, why are you making this a priority in your life, in your family's life, in your kids' life, when you have a million other things going on? And it's kind of that curiosity post and breaking the ice post for people to be like, oh, she's doing something. I wonder what it is. And they're going to start watching you even more closely. Trust me. So I have a quick, I'll go forward and then I'll go back. This is a commitment post. I just have a quick script. And honestly, I still use this script sometimes when I'm just resharing my story, because we always need to be retelling our story. You can use it. You can choose to like, no, I'll just make up my own thing. But this is something that I just have found really that just breaks it down and keeps it super simple and short and sweet. So you can say, I made a decision. Maybe it was last week. Maybe it was last month. Maybe it was 5 years ago, like myself. It was time to XYZ, fill it in with your story. And you know what? I think so many times I like looked at my story and I'm like, my story's boring. Like I don't have 100-pound weight loss. I was just, for me, I was a girl who like was just on the yo-yo dieting train and constantly like losing and gaining like 15 to 20 pounds. And I could never stay consistent with anything. So like, guess what? A lot of people are that same way. So whatever your story is, insert that. At the time I felt XYZ, how did you feel? So I decided I would again leave out the words Beachbody or Shakeology or Energize, because what people are going to do is they're just going to go Google those things, see what it's all about, and then totally disregard it because they're like, oh, I don't want anything like that. You know, instead of when they're genuinely interested, just asking you maybe what you're doing. So just share what you started doing, maybe a 30-minute program, or maybe you started a 20-minute program, maybe you started a 4-week program and started watching my nutrition and adding in a shake. I'm so happy I feel blank, and I'd love for you to do this with me. You don't have to post a before and after picture. You could just, if you don't have one yet, you could post a well-lit picture of you smiling, happy, you know, not in the dark when it's 5 a.m. and no one can barely see you. Like make sure people can see you aesthetically pleasing. So that is just a commitment post example. And I think you will be shocked at the people who just genuinely like support you. And like no one is going, if you have kids and you want to throw them in the picture, like go ahead, do that. But just remember, this is for you and you helping someone else. And that post that is speaking to your why will directly pierce someone that needs to hear it. Okay, so back to social media. We'll get the commitment post, and then I always recommend, because when you sign up as a Beachbody coach, you are not just a Beachbody coach on social media. We are not a Beachbody billboard walking around with our Shakeology cup and posting our selfies of Shakeology and just doing our workouts and not sharing anything else. Like, don't do that. I actually kind of find the less I share about the Beachbody side and the more I just share about my life and what's going on with me as a wife, as a mom, as a woman, the more people connect with me. So that's where the 5 pillars come up of 5 things outside of Beachbody that you are about, that you can share about. Because when most of my conversations start with people outside of Beachbody. So my 5 pillars, and these can change, like what are you interested in? What do you know a lot about? For me right now, it's pregnancy, it's big families. I'm about to be a mom of 5. It is, what else? Faith, quick, easy, healthy recipes. I would love to say like I'm someone who like makes all these fancy meals and meal preps all the time. Like, no, I'm a 5-minute meal person, make it quick, would love for it to be healthy and want my family to eat it. Like that's just who I am. So, and I found a lot of other moms are the same way. So just think of the things that you like, what is going on in your life that you can share and relate to others. And if you're kind of like, well, my life is boring. Like all I do is I wake up, I get my kids ready for daycare, I go to work, I work all day, I come home, I kind of do the same thing all over again, right? Or for me, I remember when I got started, I'm like, all I do is stay home. Like I'm wiping kids' butts all day. I'm dealing with tantrums. I'm taking them to the park. Like nothing of that is glamorous. But here's the thing with social media is people want to see people going through the same things that they are. Sure, it's cool to see like the big influencers, like with their extravagant travels and life and those kind of things. But people love just watching people who are getting their kids ready for daycare, who are having to make their lunches and working all day and then coming home, and how do they do their nighttime routine? How do they spend time with their kids? Like, people like to see the people going through the same things that they are. So don't disregard that and think that your life is too boring. Number 3 is add value. Again, this doesn't have to be like something really, really powerful. For me, it's just like, I'll always like to share a snippet of my morning devotion. I like to add value if I ever find like an outfit that I like, or a shoe that I like, or if I find something, a mom tip that works well for kids, like whatever kind of keeps people coming back for more, always adding value to my audience's life. And what my coach always says is to be shoppable. And again, you don't have to be like this big influencer with thousands and thousands of followers to post a link of your favorite kid's shoe, or to post a link of your favorite workout shorts, or to post a link of the water bottle that you're obsessed with right now. Like, if people shop on social media, so if you kind of just are every once in a while posting something that gives them like, oh, she's adding value to my life. Oh, I like to see what kind of things she's buying. Maybe like just go look through your Amazon account and be like, hey, what could I share with someone today that I bought recently that I love? Because when you're sharing things that you love and that are authentic to you, then when you share things about your workouts, when you share about your shake or your meals or whatever all those things are, then they're going to be starting to trust you and understand you and getting to know you better. The other thing with number 3 is engage with your audience. I think something that is super easy is just to like, at least for myself, is to like give to people all day, like serve them all day. But also remember, like, people love to share their opinions with you. So like, if maybe you're decorating your house, people love to decorate your house with you. So put up a poll, like, what should I put in this blank space? Like a picture or a plant? Should I put a shelf or a light? Like, and put up a poll and have people engage with you, or put up maybe you're picking out an outfit for date night or a concert or for whatever it is. Like, people love to give their opinions. So if you provide opportunity for that on your social media, that's just another authentic way that you can start conversations with people. And like, it's not weird to just start talking with people on social media. Like, that's what social media is used for, to be social with them. And then when the timing's right, you can say, hey, Brooke, I'm actually starting a new program in a couple weeks. I don't know if you'd be interested in doing this with me, but I think you would love it. Super simple. That's not slimy. That's not icky. You've gotten to know them. You've been talking with them. And of course, they're watching your stories where you've probably been sharing your workouts and stuff. Like, it's kind of that next natural step. And I really pride our team on, we don't just like cold message people all the time. Like, hey, you want to do this group? Hey, I've never talked to you before, but do you want to do this? Like, we talk to people, we connect with them, we get to know them, and then we invite them to this opportunity. And the last thing with social media, consistency matters. I'm not saying that you have to show up every single day, all day, like never a break. Like, no, that leads to burnout and all of those things. Like, take a break on the weekends, or it's like, hey, I didn't post today. That's totally fine. But people do trust people who are consistently showing up in some way. Maybe it's not every day, maybe it's every other day, but like, that's a way that you can show them that you're trustworthy, that you're not going anywhere, that you're not going to just like get them signed up and then totally drop them off, when you are consistently showing up on social media. So it does matter over time. Okay, so I shared the commitment post. I just want to talk really quick again about conversations. Like I said, most of my conversations and the way I teach my team to do it is that they begin outside of Beachbody, and that is totally okay. I actually prefer that, like, when I start talking to someone, that it's about something else, because then it just is so much more genuine. Like, we already feel like friends. Like, it's someone that I would want to do this with, right? Like, if we have nothing in common, and they just want to like get signed up with workouts, like it's not really that fun. Trust me. Like I want people to do this that I actually get along with and that I would actually be friends with in real life. So it's okay and it's good for your conversations to start with around makeup or clothes or house things, but you have to be sharing about those things to start those conversations. And then when the timing's right, I put down at the bottom like, hey Brooke, not sure if you saw, I'm starting this new program, would you want to do it with me? Like that's not icky, that's not salesy. I just shared in a training that I did yesterday about like how I moved into a new neighborhood last year, and like our neighbors, every house is like 3 or 4 acres apart, which I love. And they're like, hey, just so you know, like when you ever see us getting together, like at a neighbor's driveway, like just come on over. Like we're not texting people saying like, hey, like inviting you over, like just come. Like that's just kind of how our neighborhood works. And I was like, that's great. That sounds so fun. But the first few times I saw all the neighbors or a few of the neighbors together, a few houses down, I was like, am I invited to that? Like, should I go? I wish someone would just text me and be like, hey, Brooke, come with the kids down and come hang out for a little bit, you know? And that's exactly the same thing with coaching and our groups and our accountability groups that we run. Like, you have to open that door for people and let them know, like, this is for you too. Like, you can do this with me if you would like, not just a big static post that says, hey, anyone can join me, anyone can do this. When it's directed specifically at someone, it means so much more. Okay, we have 2 more things and then we're going to wrap it up. I want to explain really quick what Success Club is, because you're probably, if you haven't already, you're going to see this word a lot. You're going to hear this word a lot. We have an acronym for it called SC. And what it is it's our business's metric of if we are growing every month. Like this is a business, so we need some way of measuring it. And Beachbody a few years ago, they looked at the successful coaches in this business and said, how many people are they helping get started a month with the total solution pack, which is our workouts, a supplement, those things. And all they saw, it's 3 new people a month. It's not 100 people. It's not 50 people. It's not 10 people. It's 3 new people a month. And you guys, since I signed up in 2016, that has been my goal ever since. 3 new people a month, 3 new people a month, 3 new people a month. Like this is something that is so sustainable and so doable. Like if you've ever been in any kind of sales, like you have to do way more than 3 people a month to see any growth, but not with this business. What it's going to do is you're going to get commission, first of all, when you help 3 people a month with the total solution pack. You know, usually they're around $160 and we get 25% commission. So we're going to get about $50 in commission. So right there, you've already paid for your products, especially if like money is a big thing and you're like, hey, I don't know if I can keep up with the products and the business fee and yada, yada, yada. Then help 3 people a month. That's going to cover your products. It's going to like have some extra for date night or diapers or Target trips or whatever you want. And then that, of course, is going to grow because you're growing your team, you're growing your groups. If you're adding consistently 3 people a month, what's 3 times 12? I'm like, I know it's a 48. Like that's almost 50 new people a year. And like that's minimum. So you're probably some month it's even going to be helping more people that turn into coaches and they're going to start coaching people. So the ripple effect when you just do a little bit each month is so powerful. And the cool thing is we also get trips incentives for this. So if you help 3 people a month for an entire year, you get an all-inclusive trip. You just have to pay for flights to this next year. We're going to Mexico, Riviera Maya. Like what? Like that is insane. I know I just took my husband on our first one because we weren't able to, because the babies and then COVID, it was canceled for a couple of years. And I was just like blown away. I'm like, I get to take my husband on an all-inclusive trip all because I helped 3 people a month. Like that is insane. We didn't have to pay for anything besides the flights to get there. And then everything else was free. So there's the trips. If that's a big deal for you, definitely make sure you put that in the forefront of your mind. There's the incentives. Beachbody does fun gifts. And then I know I do fun monthly gifts for my coaches who also hit Success Club. So that is what it is. And it's just, like I said, 3 people a month, so doable. And when you're having those conversations, when you're sharing yourself authentically, like that stuff happens naturally. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is Emerald. This is the first rank you can hit. And this is exactly what it is. It's you plus 2 other people. So we're a binary system. We have a left side and a right side. And once you have 2 people signed up underneath you, whether it can be either a preferred customer or a coach, you are an Emerald coach is what we call it. And this activates the second way that we can earn money besides just the 25% commission. It now activates what is called the team cycle bonus, which I'm not going to dive into right now just because of sake of time, but we deep dive into the team cycle bonus more in some of our other calls or in our team page. But that activates the second way of earning, which basically it's like Beachbody's bonus to you every single week, which can range from like $14 to like over $200. And it's every single week, which is really, really cool. Okay, so there's Emerald. It's 2 preferred customers or coaches underneath you. That's it. All right, I know I've spit a lot at you, and I'm almost under 9 o'clock, which was my goal, but I have 4 things that I want you to send your coach. If I'm not your coach, that's totally fine. Send it to your own coach, screenshot this page if you need to, but these are the 4 things that help you get started and ignite your business. Number 1, send your coach what program you're committed to right now, what supplements you're using, and what your personal development is. 2, your commitment post. Maybe you haven't started it yet. Maybe you've already posted it. I encourage you just to send it to your coach again, or like start writing up a draft, get their ideas of what they think of their commitment post. 3, your 5 pillars for social media. What kind of things can you talk about? And maybe, and this is where your coach can help you brainstorm. If you're like, hey, I can really only come up with 3, trust me, I'm sure your coach can pick out like, no, you're really good at this. Like, this is really interesting about you. So go over the 5 pillars. And then 4, who are 2 people that you're excited to share this with to start? And you guys, don't just chuck it up to some random person on social media that you knew of a friend of a friend of a friend in high school or college or like growing up. Like, who is someone that you're genuinely excited to share this with? Maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's your sister or your mom or your dad. I know for me, it was my mom, but I was so scared to like, I just thought she would roll her eyes at me. And for a year, I never asked my own mom to do this. And now, like, and finally I did. And she like does every single program with me that I do. And she drinks Shakeology daily. And she's the healthiest she's ever been. Like, what the heck, Brooke? Like, get out of my own way. If I think someone would love it, just ask, because you never know what someone else needs. So 2 people you're excited to share this with. That is all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to give a second. If there's any questions, now we just have a few people on here. Go ahead and drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just wrap this up. Let me give a second. I wanted to go back. I meant to talk about these 2 photos because this photo right here was my commitment post. And it was something like, Mondays, what it is, I think it said Mondays suck, says no Beachbody coach ever. And then I went on to talk about how I was a Beachbody coach. So like, this is where I started. And of course you learn as you go, but at least I'm proud of that Brooke, because she started, she didn't stop. She failed forward. She made mistakes. She learned. And like, that's the same kind of mindset that you have to go in this with. You're not going to be perfect. Everything's going to be worded perfectly. Like, you'll make mistakes. You'll say the wrong things at times. But if you keep going and moving forward, trust me, you will learn. And it is such a beautiful journey for your own growth, for your business growth, for your family's growth. It is seriously incredible. Check the chat section. I don't think I saw anything. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. Appreciate you guys. I know it's Tuesday late at night. It's been probably a long work day, but I will get this posted on our team page, and just thankful that you guys are on tonight. So make it a good one.